Hi, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. Now, today, we're talking about the eighth part of the dissertation of the 19th chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which is the 16th chapter of the book of Zion. Last time, we left off discussing the second chapter of the book of Habakkuk. And we're going to pick up with verse 11, which talks about the stones crying out and the walls answering. This speaks of a gray ability. All grays and a few gray humans have the ability to sense the events whose energy is embedded in the physical world. We can experience events of the past by touching items like walls and stones. So, we can gather evidence from things around an event. And people, things do not lie. The next verse goes on to illustrate the point. Those who use unjust means or shoddy building practices, will be found out. The underlying reality of life will tell the tale. A city built on blood will be a violent place, just as a building built using poor techniques and materials will not withstand the test of time. The truth always underlies reality. Woe to those who build a city on blood and establish a city by iniquity. Iniquity or evil practices. America was created by the use of force and by bloodshed. It was created as an act of war, a rebellion. And like a city, it cannot endure because of its reliance on force and violence. Verse 13 verse 13 tells us again that the Gray did not want my people to endure such hardships. We labor in the very fires. We work hard to endure the hardships that this society imposes on us. We suffer, but not at the hands of the Gray. Those who allow our suffering to go on are too distracted by the trinkets and toys that we produce on massive scales, bright, shiny objects that clutter our world and keep our minds so busy on nothing that those in power are able to do everything that their evil little hearts desire. Verse 14 reminds us that thanks to the prohibition of marijuana, the entire world now knows about the effects of THC and the cannabinoids on the dormant gray DNA in the human body. This knowledge was vital to the future of both gray and human. The knowledge of telepathy and its use are also vital, making the need for it a worldwide concern. Having been reminded that my people are necessary to the future of mankind, and that society has reason to embrace us as a people, the Gray return to the guilty people and their hypocrisy, exposing their true nature and why they should be removed from power. Hypocrites. Hypocrisy is the act of condemning something that you are doing yourself. To condemn my people for getting messed up on other drugs, while you endorse the use of alcohol for the exact same purpose, is wrong. If you are to condemn the use of intoxicants for personal gratification, then alcohol cannot be exempt. Either all intoxicants are dangerous and therefore illegal, or none are. You cannot logically argue that having a good time on alcohol is okay, but all other drugs are dangerous? Because we all know alcohol is very dangerous. It is, in fact, very deadly. I must point out, also, the Me Too Testament of verse 15. To use alcohol and date rape drugs are pointed out in this verse, even though I cast part of the blame of rape on the fashion world. I cast 99.9% of it on the male ego and the social ethos. Men abuse women. Men rape women. Men brag about raping women. Men routinely get away with raping women and bragging about raping women. We, as women, should not have to dress down or fear getting too drunk or being drugged without our consent or knowledge. This passage condemns date rape and drugs used for that purpose. Men are guilty. There is no doubt. Verse 16 tells the drunks who condemn other drug use that they will be ashamed for their hypocrisy. They will be put to shame for their wrongdoing. For glory, they will enjoy the glory of the porcelain god, i.e., the toilet. Isaiah 28, 7 and 8, Zion 16, 23 and 24. But they have also erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priests and the prophets have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up with wine. They are out of the way with strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Isaiah 28, 7 and 8 addresses the fact that most of my people also use alcohol. We get just as drunk as the rednecks or non-drug users. We too get so messed up that we visit the porcelain throne. And, just like the rednecks, we err because of it. Alcohol is a drug. It is a dangerous drug to all who use it, Zionites and non-Zionites alike. Isaiah 57, 9 to 14, Zion 16, 25 to 30. And thou wentest to the king with ointment, and didst increase thy perfumes, and didst send thy messengers far off, and did debase thyself even unto hell. Thou art weary in the greatness of thy way, sayest thou not? There is no hope. Thou hast found the life of thine hands, therefore thou hast not been grieved. And of whom hast thou been afraid, or feared? That thou hast lied and not remembered me, nor laid it to thy heart? Have not I held my peace from of old, and thou fearest me not? I will declare thy righteousness, and thy works, for they shall not profit thee. When thou criest, let thine companies deliver thee, but the wind shall carry them all away. Vanity shall take them. But he that putteth his trust in me shall possess the land, and shall inherit my holy mountain, and shall say, cast ye up, prepare the way, take away the stumbling block out of the way of my people. Isaiah 57, 9 to 14 returns to addressing America. The increase of perfumes speaks of industry and how we have built up our economy as a demigod. It speaks of how America has become a world player, sending envoys and industry out to all other nations, trying to dominate the world market, and by doing so, the world's politics. But in the process, of trying, you have become base creatures, driven by baser instincts like greed and violence. You, America, have become that which you claim to hate. You use money and force to subject society to your will. No one who earns less than $1 million is truly free. We are poor and we forced to pay more than we can afford so that you don't have to pay your fair share. That's true now more than ever thanks to Trump's corporate tax package. America got burned. Yes, according to Isaiah, America thinks it's the greatest nation on earth. Up until now, America has been the most powerful nation on earth. But that greatness is shallow. It is being undone. Greed, corporate power, politics have all undermined the reality of Americans' world dominance. Isaiah points out that this text proves the point. With the Syrian withdrawal of troops at Trump's order, America became subordinate to the world. Our sterling record of honoring our allies has been undermined. No one can look at us with confidence. All treaties are subject to doubt. America is no longer the world's reliable ally. So now that Trump has given the world cause to do so, when push comes to shove, America will have few friends who will be willing to stand up to defend them from itself. All of the world powers will stand by and let the people of America implode. They will have no reason to interfere. They too have been guilty of the same unjust actions against their own populations, but they didn't invent the war and can easily resolve their country's unrest. America will stand alone as the guilty party. When my people take to their tents, the world will watch to see how it plays out in America, where the action is centered. The arrival of the gray in response to our public call for their appearance will shock and awe all people. The truth that comes to evidence by that event will set the stage for a new social order based on my people's right to live. Psalms 53:4, Zion 16:31. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon the Lord. Isaiah 53:4 puts the deeds of the American government in perspective. They eat up my people like they eat bread, but they do not call on the grave. The God that created them, the God that set them up to take the fall for humanity. Not because they were forced to, but because they chose to. They chose to follow their most basic instinct, greed, and further their own damnation by using lies and force to oppress an innocent people. And there ends the dissertation of the 19th chapter of the book of the Pot Smoker's Bible and the 16th chapter of the book of Zion. Next time, we will do the reading of the chapter 19 and chapter 16. So, until then, may the gray watch you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May you always be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. May you stay happy and high. Know that I love you. I stand ready to champion our cause and give us all a bright, bright future. So, until next time, later, because I'll never say goodbye.